The Golden State Warriors are going through moments of high tension both on and off the court. Engaged in an extremely balanced series against the Houston Rockets in the first round of the playoffs, the management's eyes are already starting to look beyond, focusing on the difficult decisions the team will face in the offseason. At the center of these discussions is Jonathan Kuminga, whose future with the team has become uncertain. Recent reports indicate that the San Francisco franchise is considering trading the young forward, and a potential destination for him could be the Brooklyn Nets, in a trade that would bring Cameron Johnson to the Warriors. Kuminga, selected 7th overall in the 2021 draft, will become a restricted free agent at the end of the season. With a projected salary of around $25 million annually, his situation creates a huge financial challenge for Golden State, which is already working with a heavy salary cap. The relationship between Kuminga and head coach Steve Kerr, which had already shown signs of wear during the season, seems to have deteriorated further during the playoff phase. The reduction in his minutes on the court during the playoffs only reinforces the perception that his journey with the franchise may be nearing its end. Among the main reasons the Warriors are considering his departure, a few factors stand out clearly. The first of them is the financial impact. Offering a $25 million a year contract to a player whose role is still not fully defined within the team's system would be a huge risk. Furthermore, there are concerns about his technical fit. Kuminga's playing style, while filled with athletic explosiveness and spectacular plays, doesn't always align with the highly structured, ball movement-based system that is the Warriors' trademark. And of course, the third factor is his own playing time. In the most critical moments of the season, Kuminga was passed over in favor of other options, signaling that he may not be in the team's long-term plans. In light of this situation, a concrete proposal emerges. Send Jonathan Kuminga to the Brooklyn Nets in exchange for Cameron Johnson. Johnson is a player who, theoretically, would fit perfectly into Golden State's current roster. He brings the combination of consistent long-range shooting and defensive ability that the team needs to maintain its high competitive level. His three-point shooting percentage is impressive, 39% on 7.2 attempts per game, providing valuable spacing on offense. Defensively, his versatility allows him to guard multiple positions, something highly valued in a system like Steve Kerr's. For the Nets, the trade also makes sense. In the process of rebuilding after drastic changes to the roster, Brooklyn could bet on Kuminga as a future piece, someone with the potential to develop into a star under the right circumstances. Additionally, a future first-round pick would add more assets for the team to build its new core. Ben Cooper from Clutch Points summed up the situation well. Kuminga has shown flashes of great potential in his career and could thrive on a team like the Nets. For Golden State, adding a player like Johnson, with three-point shooting and defense, would be ideal next to Curry, Butler, and Green. At 29 years old, Johnson had a consistent season even amid the difficulties faced by Brooklyn, with averages of 18.8 points, 4.3 rebounds, and 4 assists per game. Along with the previously mentioned 39% on long-range shooting, he presents himself as a solid piece for any team aspiring to a title. His ability to space the floor would help open up lanes for attackers like Andrew Wiggins and make the Warriors' offense even more dynamic. But Johnson is not just a shooter. His defensive ability also stands out. He is capable of guarding both wings and smaller big men, providing essential tactical flexibility in critical moments of games. With him, Golden State would gain a third reliable offensive option behind Curry and Butler, while also strengthening its defense, which has been one of the cornerstones of the team's success in recent seasons. If the goal is to keep the team in the hunt for championships, especially in an increasingly competitive Western Conference, the Warriors will need to make bold decisions. And trading Kuminga for an already established player who can contribute immediately seems to be the kind of move that will ensure the continuation of the dynasty built in San Francisco. With the scenario set, the Golden State front office finds itself at a crossroads. Continue betting on Kuminga's potential, despite uncertainties about his evolution within the team's system, or opt for a safer approach by bringing in someone like Cameron Johnson, who has already proven capable of delivering consistent results at a high level. The timing also weighs on the decision. The championship window with Stephen Curry still at his peak won't last forever. Every season that passes without a strategic addition could mean losing one of the last opportunities to win another ring before the key pieces of the dynasty begin to slow down. With that in mind, choosing ready players who can quickly fit into the established playing style seems like the most logical option. Additionally, the Warriors' financial reality cannot be ignored. With the league imposing increasingly strict penalties on teams that exceed the salary cap, investing $25 million in a player still in the development phase becomes too risky. On the other hand, Cameron Johnson, even as a veteran, provides exactly what is expected of a modern forward: floor spacing, solid defense, and experience in high-stakes games. Another relevant issue is the impact on the locker room. The environment behind the scenes has a significant influence on the success of any team, and the tension between Kuminga and Kerr doesn't help. Although not all conflicts become public, the signs are noticeable to those who follow the franchise's day-to-day. A player unhappy with their role can end up affecting the team's chemistry, something the Warriors, known for their strong team culture, strive to avoid at all costs. When analyzing the technical fit, it becomes even clearer why Johnson would be a valuable piece. His ability to space the floor efficiently would create more room for Curry's quick drives and Butler's sharp cuts, while Draymond Green would continue as the defensive anchor and playmaker. With Johnson on the court, the Warriors could align more flexible lineups with multiple shooters and versatile defenders, which is fundamental in today's basketball. On the other hand, Kuminga still sparks interest due to his raw athletic potential. His ability to attack the basket in transition, his explosion in the half-court game, and his ability to defend multiple positions are qualities that, if properly refined, could turn him into a star in the future. For a team like the Brooklyn Nets, which is in a rebuilding phase and looking for young talents to shape a new project, Kuminga represents exactly the type of gamble worth taking. However, for a franchise like Golden State, which still operates under the pressure of winning titles while its elite roster is intact, waiting for Kuminga's development may be a luxury they can no longer afford. Brooklyn's interest in adding Kuminga makes sense from several perspectives. First, because he would bring energy and athleticism to a team that desperately needs identity. Second, because with less pressure to deliver immediate results, Kuminga would have the freedom to make mistakes and grow at his own pace. Having the opportunity to develop in a franchise focused on long-term growth could be what he needs to reach his full potential. For Cameron Johnson, moving to the Warriors would mean the chance to compete for big goals again. In a system that values ball movement, spacing, and aggressive defense, his skills would be fully utilized. Additionally, playing alongside experienced veterans in the playoffs could further elevate his game, making him a key piece for the franchise's aspirations. From a strategic standpoint, the trade would benefit both parties. Brooklyn would receive youth and potential, while Golden State would add stability and proven talent, essential elements to keep their championship window open. As the offseason approaches and decisions become inevitable, every move from the Warriors' front office will be scrutinized. The pressure is immense to get it right, as any misjudgment could cost precious years of competitiveness. If they choose to act pragmatically, bringing in Cameron Johnson could be exactly the move that allows the team to stay on top without going through a traumatic rebuild. More than just a player swap, this move would represent a declaration of intent. The Golden State Warriors still believe they can win now, and they are willing to make the necessary adjustments to do so. In the end, the question hanging over the executives' heads is clear. Should they bet on Kuminga's uncertain future or secure a solid piece that fits perfectly around their veteran stars? The answer, it seems, could determine the franchise's direction in the coming years. As the playoff games continue and the external focus remains on the battles on the court, behind the scenes, the Warriors' front office is already beginning to lay the groundwork for what promises to be an off-season full of changes and tough decisions. The possible trade of Kuminga for Cameron Johnson is not just a matter of technical adjustment, but also a bet on the philosophy that has guided the franchise's success over the years. Since the beginning of the Warriors' modern era, The team has built its identity around the ability to maximize the talent of players who understand the value of the collective over the individual. Ball movement, quick cuts, high-volume three-point shooting, and tireless defense have been the pillars that led to multiple titles, and Cameron Johnson, based on what he has shown in his career, fits as a piece that can immediately reinforce this structure. His numbers from last season illustrate this ability well. With an average of 18.8 points per game, showcasing a solid offensive arsenal, and shooting 39% from the perimeter even under tight defense, Johnson offers exactly what Golden State needs to keep its offensive identity alive. Additionally, his 4.3 rebounds and 3.4 assists per game show that he is not just a finisher, but also a player capable of participating in the fluidity of the system. Defensively, Johnson's versatility fits into the Warriors' philosophy, which values the ability to switch on defense without losing intensity. Johnson, with his physical frame and game awareness, can cover multiple positions, providing Coach Steve Kerr with the ability to create more adaptable defensive schemes in response to the opponent's demands. The impact of such an addition would not be limited to just statistics. Johnson would bring a team player mentality, someone willing to do the dirty work, run to the back of the opponent's defense, set screens without the ball, and accept a complementary role even in critical moments. In a team full of stars, this tactical humility is an invaluable attribute. Meanwhile, the case of Kuminga carries more complex nuances. His potential is undeniable, his athletic ability is special, and his instinct to attack the basket is something few players his age possess. However, the inconsistency in his decision-making, the difficulty in maintaining defensive intensity for long stretches, and the reluctance to adapt to less prominent roles are factors that, today, make his future with Golden State uncertain. The Warriors' system requires more than just raw talent. It demands game intelligence, quick situational reading, the ability to act without the ball in hand, and above all, the willingness to sacrifice individual numbers for collective success. Kuminga, so far, has shown flashes of being able to fit in, but has also revealed limitations that become more evident as the level of competition rises, such as in the playoffs. This reality is reinforced by recent rotation decisions. In the most important moments of the season, when every possession counts, Kuminga saw his minutes decrease. And for a young player looking for affirmation, this kind of reduction in prominence not only affects morale, but also heightens tensions within the team. With the summer approaching and financial decisions piling up, Golden State knows it cannot afford to hesitate. If Kuminga is seeking a contract worth around $25 million annually, it is natural for the front office to question whether he has demonstrated enough value to justify such an investment, especially considering the context of a roster that needs immediate, reliable contributions to remain competitive. In Brooklyn, the story is different. Without the same urgency for immediate results, the Nets could give Kuminga the space he needs to make mistakes, learn, and evolve. In a young, rebuilding team where long-term development is the priority, Kuminga would have the opportunity to become the star many still believe he can be. From a business perspective, the trade would also make sense for the Nets. In addition to adding a high-potential player, they would receive valuable assets like future draft picks, which could be used to further strengthen the roster or make additional strategic moves. For Golden State, sacrificing a young asset in exchange for immediate stability is a calculated risk, but one that aligns with the desire to maximize what remains of the Curry era. With Cameron Johnson, the team would not only add an elite shooter and solid defender, but would also signal to the rest of the league that they are still fully committed to competing for championships now, not in 3 or 4 years. And for the veterans on the roster, this message is crucial. Players like Curry, Butler, and Green need to believe that the franchise is still willing to do whatever it takes to stay on top. A move like this would reinforce that commitment, showing that as long as they are on the court, the pursuit of the championship will remain the top priority. As the offseason approaches, the stories of Kuminga and Cameron Johnson seem to intertwine with the immediate future of the Warriors. In a league where windows of success are becoming increasingly short and volatile, The right or wrong decisions can change the course of a franchise for years. Golden State now faces a critical choice: maintain faith in the potential that has yet to be realized, or bet on the certainty of a perfect fit to sustain its winning legacy. The Golden State Warriors have always been one of the most renowned franchises in the NBA, recognized for their innovative playing style, their ability to build winning rosters, and their capacity to adapt to the changes in modern basketball. Recently, the Warriors have been involved in a series of speculations regarding a new addition to the team, a signing that could not only elevate the team's level, but also add a new dimension to their global reach. The potential arrival of Kai Sotto, the Filipino giant center, for the 2025 season is being discussed behind the scenes at the franchise. This move is not just about the technical impact of having a player of his qualities on the court, but also about the cultural bond and the connection with a global fan base, especially the millions of people in the Philippines who fervently follow basketball. For the Warriors, signing Kai Sotto would be a significant milestone, not only as a sports strategy, but also as a way to expand their international presence, particularly in Asia. Kai Sotto is a player who stands out both for his physique and technical skills. Standing at 218 meters, he is an imposing presence on the court, and this height is not just a number. His ability to impact the game with his wingspan and defensive presence has already made him one of the most watched players in international leagues. What impresses is not just his height, but the way he adapts to modern basketball, being capable of shooting from mid-range with good accuracy and still having a solid defensive game with great shot blocking and rebounding skills. His journey so far, which began in the Philippines and passed through leagues like the NBL in Australia and the B-League in Japan, is a testament to his evolution as an athlete and his determination to reach the highest level of the sport. For Kai, every step taken in his journey has been proof of his dedication, and his rise to the global basketball stage is a true inspiration to many young people, especially in the Philippines, where basketball is more than a sport. It's a national passion. If Kai Sotto's signing comes to fruition, he would bring more than just his technical skills to the Golden State Warriors. His presence would be a historic milestone for the franchise, strengthening ties with a huge fan base in the Philippines and around the world. The impact of his signing goes beyond the lines of a basketball court, touching on cultural, social, and even commercial aspects that could benefit the franchise in unexpected ways. The Warriors are a team that already prides itself on being global, with a fan base that extends across all corners of the world. However, the arrival of a Filipino icon could add an even deeper layer to their international identity. For Filipino fans, signing Kai would mean more than just adding a great player to the team. It would be a celebration of their culture and the rise of basketball in the Philippines, where he is already an icon. Over the years, the Warriors have become a true ambassador of diversity and inclusion in basketball, with their team reflecting a rich mix of cultures and backgrounds. Including Kai Sotto in the roster would only strengthen this identity. For the Filipino community in the Bay Area, one of the largest and most influential Filipino populations outside the Philippines, having Kai wear a Warriors jersey would be a monumental achievement. He would become more than just a player. He would be a symbol of hope, inspiration, and achievement. The relationship between the team and the Filipino community would be further strengthened with Kai's arrival. It wouldn't be surprising to see a series of community engagement events, from basketball clinics to themed nights, where Filipino culture would be celebrated in grand style. Kai's impact wouldn't just be felt on the court, but also off it, creating a deep connection between the team and its fans, who would feel even more represented and connected to the team. But of course, the Warriors would also be seeking a technical advantage with the signing of Kai Sotto. His profile as a modern center, capable of protecting the rim and also shooting from mid-range, would make him a perfect fit for the Warriors' playing style. The team has stood out over the years for its fast-paced play, constant ball movement, and focus on floor spacing. However, one of the recurring criticisms has been the lack of a dominant center who can control the paint and provide a constant physical presence. Kai Sotto has everything necessary to fill this gap. His ability to defend, grab rebounds, and play dynamically on offense would be a great asset to Steve Kerr's team. Additionally, his ability to shoot from mid-range would bring more flexibility to the offensive game, allowing the Warriors to expand their options even further. This characteristic is particularly valuable in a system like the Warriors, which prioritizes fluidity and offensive creativity. Kai's impact on the defensive side would also be significant. His wingspan and impressive reaction time would make him an intimidating presence in the paint, making it difficult for opponents to finish around the rim and providing extra security on defense. His shot blocking and ability to grab crucial rebounds would be a great complement to the Warriors' defense, which, despite its offensive prowess, has faced some defensive challenges in key moments. Moreover, his playing style and physical characteristics would be a great addition to the team's fast-paced and transition game. With Kai grabbing rebounds and initiating fast breaks, the Warriors could benefit from his ability to quickly get involved in plays, further accelerating the team's tempo and exploiting advantages in fast transitions. Now, let's continue analyzing the impact of Kai Sotto on the Golden State Warriors. The arrival of a player like Kai wouldn't be limited to just improving the game's statistics or bringing a technical advantage to the team. He would become a key piece in Steve Kerr's tactical system, which is already known for his ability to maximize his players' potential and adapt his game system to the strengths of his athletes. In terms of player development, the opportunity to play alongside stars like Stephen Curry and Draymond Green would be invaluable for Kai. Curry, considered one of the best shooters of all time, is known for his work ethic and basketball IQ. For Kai, this would be a unique chance to learn from one of the greatest players in NBA history. He could absorb Curry's wisdom and experience, improving his own skills and basketball vision, as well as applying these lessons in crucial moments. On the other hand, Draymond Green, with his tactical intelligence and leadership, would also be a valuable mentor for Kai. Green is the kind of player who understands the intricate details of the game, and his ability to read plays and make quick decisions could help Kai adjust to the pace and demands of the NBA. Green's mentorship could be key to enhancing Kai's defensive abilities, as well as helping him develop a more strategic mindset during games. Kai's impact on the Warriors would also extend to the commercial side of the franchise. His popularity in the Philippines and other parts of Asia would represent a great opportunity for the team to expand its fan base and attract new sponsors. Companies looking to increase their presence in Asia, particularly in the Philippines, could partner with the Warriors, leveraging Kai's growing appeal to promote their brands and strengthen their reach in the region. The Warriors, one of the most well-known franchises in the NBA, already have a global fan base, but adding Kai Sotto would help further solidify that international identity. His presence would help increase the team's visibility in Asia, attracting more fans and generating more commercial opportunities. The NBA already has a strong presence in the Asian market, but signing a player like Kai Sotto could accelerate that growth, making both the league and the Warriors even more relevant in the region. By integrating a player like Kai Sotto, the Warriors wouldn't just be making a strategic move in terms of talent and building a winning team. They would also be making a statement of commitment to diversity and inclusion in sports. The NBA is a global league, and including players from different backgrounds and cultures only strengthens its position as a league that values diversity and representation. Kai Sotto represents much more than just a promising talent. He is a symbol of perseverance, hard work, and inspiration for young players around the world. His journey from a boy in the Philippines to the NBA is a story that resonates deeply with basketball fans, especially in countries where the sport is growing and starting to gain more recognition. If Kai joins the Golden State Warriors, his journey and success could inspire an entire generation of players, not just in the Philippines, but around the world. He would be a role model for young athletes dreaming of making it to the NBA, showing that with dedication and hard work, it's possible to achieve the highest goals in sports. Kai's impact would be felt not only on the court but also off it. His presence on the Warriors would help promote basketball in the Philippines and other parts of Asia, contributing to the growth of the sport and encouraging more young people to get involved with it. If you liked the video, don't forget to leave a like to help the channel grow and also subscribe to not miss any content. Hit the notification bell to stay updated on everything. See you next time.